Welcome to, of course, another edition of the WhoIs Podcast. Myself, Quicksilva, and today you've heard his name mentioned on this podcast quite a few times. Walking, living legend by the name of the legendary Mr. Shut Him Down. Terry T is here, ladies and gentlemen. Terry T is here, Mr. Shut Him Down himself. How you been, brother?
So quick,
man. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to see you, man. I don't even know where to start because, like I say, I've had your name mentioned on this podcast dozens of times. Let me start here. If somebody was to ask me or ask you, who is Terry T, how would you answer it?
I would say Terry T is a motivational chance taker.
Motivational chance taker. Right. Let's go back to day one, and like I say, I've heard the stories. The legends of who Terry T was before I met Terry T. So I always like to paint the picture of starting day one to now present. Take me back to day one. Terry T's born and raised where?
McCullough. Well, I was born in East Baltimore.
Really?
Nobody
you're an East Side guy like me?
Yeah, nobody know that, you know. I was born in East Baltimore on Chase Street. At 5 years old, we moved west on Preston Street, McCullough Home Projects. That's where all the magic started.
That's where the magic happened. Yeah. So now Terry T's and McCullough Home Projects. And do you remember the age that you fell in love with music?
Like 13.
13?
Yep.
By 13, where were you in life when you fell in love with music?
Oh, man. I was going to Booker T. Washington Junior High School.
Wow, my dad was a teacher there.
Really?
Mr. Silver, way after your time. He was a teacher there in the 90s.
Right.
Yeah.
And at that time, you know, I was messing around with my mom's component set. Mm-hmm. You know.
Then you old school calling it a component set.
Yeah. You know.
Right.
And that's when I was hearing like different music. My brother, he was in the Army. Mm-hmm. And a friend of his named Frankie Bolden, he's always, when they used to come home on leave, he used to come with this real big, gigantic boom box, playing all this music from these DJs up in the Bronx and stuff like that out in the park.
So this is 70s, 80s, right, at this point?
This is like 79, 80, so like early. Touching 80. Yeah.
Gotcha. So now you're falling in love with the sound of hip-hop, the sound of music. At what age did you like touch your first turntables?
15.
15. What was that moment like? Was it a house party?
So B1s, that's what they was called at the time. At this time,
for belt drive. A lot of DJs have no idea what that means. By the way.
Exactly. Definitely belt drive.
Yeah.
At this time, I just got on the radio. Shout out to Mixmaster Phil and Richard. They used to DJ at the Stars Palace. These guys, they like mentored me, showed me how to mix, and they was on WWIN AM with Mac James. And I was asking them, like, well, how can I get on this radio station? And they're like, well, give us a tape, and we'll give it to Mac. So one day Mac called me and said, well, won't you bring the tape over, and we're going to play it live while we're on the air, and we're going to have the people to call in to see if they like it or not. And back then, I don't know about radio now. I haven't been on a station like that. But they had these phones and the lights. They had all these lines on it.
Same thing.
Oh, still the same?
It's digital now, but yes, same concept.
And all these lights used to light up. Zoom! And he told me, answer the phone. And I was answering the phone. They were like, oh, yeah, we like that. And play Terry T, what's your name? And then that's when I had a rapper named Jeffrey G.
Right.
We wasn't a We Rock crew at that time yet. So same process. You know, I wanted to get Jeffrey on the radio.
Gotcha.
And Mac told me, you know, bring him to the station and we're going to play the rap on the air live. And we played it and boom.
So is it safe for me to say, and once again, I've just done my research on you, is it safe for me to say Terry T, if not, was one of the first like DJs to play hip hop on a radio station in Baltimore?
I wouldn't say that because you know you had AP crew. They was on WEBB.
Gotcha.
WEBB, that was another station on AM.
DJ Spen told me about that when he was on the podcast.
Yeah, and they had guys like Jeffrey C., the original Vicious V, which was Doug Lazy.
Right.
So those guys, they was basically like already on the air.
Wow.
You know, I think for WWIN, yes, I was.
That's what I mean. So you were the first DJ on WWIN AM.
Absolutely.
Gotcha. So I just want to make sure I get my facts right.
Absolutely.
One thing, then, once again, shout out to DJ Spen, who was on the podcast. You know, go back and watch this if you haven't yet. But one thing he said to me, he was just talking about how, you know, when he came up in the business, you know, was the New Marks, which was him, Kevin Lyles, Cool Raw, and them. He was like, you know, the We Rock crew, which I now know was DJ Terry T and who?
Universe and Jeffrey G.
So three of y'all, DJ Terry T, Universe, and
Jeffrey G.
He said, quick, because you know, Kevin Lyles is my OG in the business, in the music business. So I always knew about them only because I was so close with Kevin. And I heard of the We Rock crew, but I wasn't old enough to remember the I was born in 1980.
Right.
So, you know, I wasn't old enough to remember the 81, 82, 83 We Rock crew. What year did the We Rock crew come together as a clique?
83.
So I was 3 years old, by the way. 83. So now, I wasn't old enough to remember that, but he was just telling me, like, quick, you think the New Marks was something? He like, We Rock crew was different. He said because they had the street cred that we didn't have. Yeah. Without, of course, incriminating yourself, you were DJing, but also on the streets at the same time.
So, no. So, I didn't come into the streets till later. So when I was DJing, I was like strictly DJing. I mean, there was nothing else I was doing. Like,
how'd you get so much street cred back then without being in the streets?
Because everybody else was.
Gotcha. right.
And that's where I was from. You know, so you had like Lexington Terrace, the projects, and not just Murphy Homes and Lexington Terrace. I'm talking about people coming from poverty like I did. You know. Was like looking like, wow, you know, if this guy could do it, then we could do it. You know, I remember people running home from school to listen to me on the radio, and I was running home from school to listen to me too.
Wow.
Because it was amazing for me.
Right.
You know, so I became like a positive figure in the eyes of the streets, you know, and the We Rock crew. We never, ever used the music to bring about the vision. We brought the city together.
Gotcha.
You know?
And I've heard these stories of We Rock crew being that. Like they were, without a lack of terms, the people's DJs. Right. The people's crew. Terry T was a man that, even though you had the other crews, the APs and the New Marks, they wasn't the We Rock of the people that everybody y'all were one of them. Right. So I always say, you know, when someone say, you know, it's a difference between being with us and being one of us. Right. You know, for the stories that I've read and just looked up, with Terry T was one of us. Right. And that's why we from the streets embraced him. But also, he was a dope DJ. Right. Do you remember your first battle as a DJ?
Man, my only battle.
Against who?
DJ Spen.
Spen. So,
man, let me tell you, man, something about Spen.
I want to hear from your point of view, because how he described it. How was that battle? So take me back. That battle with the legendary battle I know now. Right. Terry T versus DJ Spen was where?
At Play Those Wheels. That was on Milton Avenue.
Gotcha.
East Baltimore. So it was publicized. You know, Randy Dennis. It was being promoted heavily. It was on the Easter night.
Wow. You know? Which is one of the biggest party nights of the year.
Yeah. And me and Spen, we always was competitive on the air, but we was friends in person, you know. But man, this particular night, I remember like it was yesterday.
And this is back in the 80s, by the way.
Back in the 80s. And man, there was lines of people, man, outside coming into Play Those Wheels, jam-packed. And they was coming to see us battle, you know, and of course to see the New Marks and the We Rock crew perform.
Right.
And I think he went on first. No. I went first.
Because he told me, he said,
I went first.
Which I'm going to tell you now, stop you. That's always a bad idea to go first.
Right, yeah. Well, I know now. And I went first. And I see Spen, he had pictures of it. Mm-hmm. You know, Spen was taking pictures, everything. And, you know, I'm doing my thing. So I never thought I had to, like, really practice or work hard.
I'm Terry T.
Yeah, something like that.
The ladies, everybody loves me. right.
And but little bit I know, man, this guy, he done some stuff I never even seen him nor any other DJ do. And when I'm talking about, man, DJ Spen, man, he had talent. This guy, I don't know how his mindset enabled him to rap and backspin while he's DJing at the same time. And I'm like, what the heck is happening here? And man, they loved him. I mean, and although he kicked my butt, you know. It
is official because he said he won.
Yeah, he won. Okay. It's official like a referee whistle. You know, he won.
Right.
The supporters, they still cheered for me. Like, yeah, Terry T. But I knew, I'm like, man, this guy.
He got me.
Yeah.
One thing you just said was he rapped and DJ'd. So the We Rock crew you were an artist, rapper, as well as DJ.
No.
So who was the rappers in We Rock crew?
Only Universe and Jeffrey G.
So they were the rappers.
Right.
You were the DJ.
I was the DJ.
And y'all had some songs that y'all recorded.
Yeah.
Which were what?
Rockin' Fresh, Rockin' Shock, We Are the We Rock crew. We had an all-star rap. We had quite a few.
And y'all, so you played those songs on the radio?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
How was that the first time you heard one of your records, like when you're driving down the car and you hear somebody playing a record that you know you're part of?
Man, it's a feeling of completeness, man. It's a feeling like, you know, all of this work that I do in this house, as far as practicing every day and this and that, you know, it's like I'm watching the people, how can I say, confirm the stuff that I study and what I practice. Mm-hmm. It's amazing, man, and it's more amazing, you know, to just walk out and, you know, on a stage and people that go crazy because they want to see you do what you love to do.
Right.
You know?
Old saying says, when you're getting paid to do something you love to do, you're never working a day in your life.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you would do it for free if you can.
Right.
But to be paid and celebrated for it makes it that much better.
Right.
Once again, you just tuned in. We're talking to the legendary Terry T, OG, we're going to call him. You know, so let's just paint the picture. So now it's 83, 84-ish. You're now, you're Terry T, you're WWIN, We Rock crew is jumping. You done battled, Spen, lost, but you never lost any of your credibility. You still were the guy.
Never.
It wasn't like nobody's booking you the next day.
Right, no.
You still were highly the man. Right. So now you're the man. But like you mentioned to me, you end up having, now we call it do some college time, aka go behind the walls. Mm-hmm. What year did you first go to prison?
89. So in 89, I was charged with an armed robbery. Man, I had no knowledge of this, like nothing. You know, I was in underground DJing. I had lines wrapped around the building, people coming in the party. And they came in my mom's house one day and arrested me, saying that I committed an armed robbery. I'm like, armed robbery? Me?
Right.
And come to find out, I had a ride in a car that was taken during an armed robbery, and they removed my fingerprint off the car. And I guess they showed my picture to the guy and say, this the guy? Because this the fingerprint we got or whatever. And, you know, it's been since 89 and it's over with, but I tell you, it wasn't me. But I served the time for it and everything.
How many years?
I've done 5.5 on 15.
For something you did not do.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Take me through your first day when you realize I am going to prison. Because, of course, like I said, they lock you up, then it's a process. when you realize, and once again, I can imagine where your mindset is, where you know you didn't do something,
right,
and you still have to fight this in court, and then you find out I lost this in court. I got to go do some prison time. What was that first day like behind the walls?
Oh man, you know, the unknown is always scary. You know, and the only thing I knew about prison was what I seen on TV. Mm-hmm. You know, and I was definitely nervous, man. I would definitely have my guards up. You know, definitely being conscious and cautious and stuff like that. But I believe what helped me was my character. Mm-hmm. Because when people see me, everybody, what you doing here?
Right. They know you from DJ Terry T.
And I say armed robbery, and they're like, you mean drugs? No, armed robbery. Armed robbery? It's not true. And I mean, you had everybody, man, like supporting me. You know, I mean, gangsters. Mm-hmm. You know, and people used to always tell me when I was in there, man, you know, you're the only person in here who actually in here for probably something you didn't do. Although all of us said it, but
right.
You know,
you really didn't do it, right? I get it.
And the sad part is, I knew who done it, and I wouldn't tell.
That's commendable, man. That's that's one of the reasons why you're still loved and respected today, because that code, you know, this is way gone.
Right.
I mean. Everybody telling now. I tell everybody, if you're just getting in the streets in 2026, you're stupid, because everybody's telling. Right. And it's acceptable to tell.
Right.
When back in the 80s, you told you was a rat. Right. I mean, you couldn't come back in our neighborhood.
Right, at all.
You can tell now and be at the club tonight popping bottles with a sign say, I told. Right, you feel me? And girls are still leaving with you. Right. This is the mentality of the new drug dealer. Like, right. This is not the time when you want to just get in the game. Right. But back then, of course, and just kind of, I want to just paint the picture of who Terry T was before we get to who Terry T is. You did say that, you know, some people said drugs and not armed robbery. And what year did you start dibble-dabbling in the streets? Was it before you got locked up first time?
Yeah, it was like 86. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we was like, you know, dealing drugs back then, Pennsylvania Avenue, stuff like that. My catastrophe was a real good friend of mine, still my friend, like a brother to me. He introduced me to heroin, and he told me, man, if you was to use some of this, you can like have sexual relations with a female all night. And that's the thought process I had when I used it, but I didn't know that it would have kidnapped me for the next 30 years and like strip me of everything. And
I'm glad you touched on that, because unfortunately, that's a story that we all know so well. Being in Baltimore, of course, you know, back then, especially in the 80s, heroin was the drug. I mean, you had coke and dope, but heroin was the one where everybody was either selling or using, or both, or both. You get introduced to it as a sex drug, pretty much what you think it is. And, you know, not trying to be funny, your first time using it, it probably was that. You probably wouldn't beat the brakes off somebody for hours, not knowing that this drug is going to take over my life. As you start using heroin in that mid-late 80s, then you go to prison. When you came back out of prison, I take it you still were addicted to heroin.
Right. So the only thing I done when I went to prison, because I was so mad, man. I was mad at the system because I'm in this place for no reason, right? And I didn't learn anything, man. I was just there, and I became like very well known, like very well respected in prison, like respected. And the time went by fast. Like I told you, that's when I met, you know, well, I've been knew Tony also. We was friends on the street. And when I went home, it's like nothing changed. You know, I came home.
Came home 95. 95, right.
Yeah. Came home 95. And I was the same person I was when I went in. It's just, the only thing was absent was the drug. You know, no recovery was put in place of that. Right. You know, because there's a difference between clean time and recovery time. You know, so I still had the same mindset.
Right. So then when you came home in 95, were you DJing at all? You were strictly streets at the point, using heroin and...
No, so when I came home in 95, so during the prison time, myself and Tony Awesome, you know, we
shout out to OG Tony Awesome, by the way, too.
Yeah, we was tight, and I started, you know, I started like writing raps, teaching them how to rap, this and that, and I just always say, Tony, man, when you go home, you probably need to start doing events, do shows, and this and that. And so when Tony went home, he started making sure I was taken care of.
So he went home before you?
Yeah, he went home before me. Gotcha. He gave back his time. He had 24 years. And he opened up King Shaw Productions.
I know.
Yeah.
We're hearing about this.
Yeah.
That's my OG, by the way, too, Tony. Tony Austin's everybody OG.
Yeah. So, and you know, he was doing events, doing tours with R. Kelly and different stuff. And, you know, he's always, I might call him like, look, I got a couple COs I want to send to the event, you know. So when I did come home, I went right into the promotional side.
Gotcha.
You know, him and Kevin was already hanging out. And
Kevin Lyles.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And my first event I done was with DJ Cool at the Forum.
Wow.
Yeah, he just came out with Let Me Clear My Throat.
Shout out to DJ Cool. Once again, he was just on the WhoIs Podcast. And if you haven't watched it yet, go back and watch it because he talked about that and he mentioned you in that.
Yeah, Let Me Clear My Throat. And a few months later, DJ Diamond K, he was working like at, I think it was Westview.
At the record store.
Yeah. He's like, man, you need to get this guy Jay-Z and Foxy Brown. And I was like, well, let me listen to the song again. And playing it for me. It's all right. So I called the booking agent. They was only 10 grand at the time.
Total?
Both of them together.
You got Foxy Brown and Jay-Z. Pause for a second. You got Foxy Brown and Jay-Z. This is what, 95 for $10,000 combined. All in.
All in.
Shout out to Diamond K for telling you to book them. Yeah. I'm gonna give him a round of applause right now.
Yeah.
Now you throw a show with you throw a show with Jay-Z, Foxy Forum. I'm sure it's sold out.
Yeah.
At that moment when you realize the money I can make in this business with, throwing these shows with these big artists, there was nothing that clicked in your mind like, let me focus all my energy on that and never go back to the heroin?
So, again, I never even grieved the process and got past it because I was so focused and mad at the system. And I was living in a condo and security at the time. And I think I slowed down during the events, and that free time, just with the free time, with the absent mindset, just took me right back to the stuff I've been doing.
Right.
You know.
Do you remember a moment that you feel like you hit rock bottom with the heroin?
Of course. Well, I would be low rock bottom. Yeah.
I want to hear from you because I've heard the stories of and that's why I think the WhoIs Podcast is so important because I like people to know your story so they can really celebrate who you are today before we get to the point of you being the clean, legendary Terry T that we all know and love. I remember hearing a story and I can't remember who it was, so I don't want to quote his name, but we was talking about Terry T and he was like, it broke my heart one day. He said because Terry was our guy. He was the DJ, WWIN. He was, the streets loved him.
Right.
He went behind the walls, and unfortunately back then, even though he was innocent, going behind the walls, it kind of boosted your street cred.
Right.
So now you come home and he ain't tell, he was loved. He said, and then one day, I see him, he was either on the avenue or, so he strung out.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Right.
Like homeless, strung out. And I'm like, and it broke my heart because the last time I saw him, I saw Terry T throwing a party at the Forum.
Right.
And now, how'd you end up being like out on the streets, like fully like strung out on her? If you don't mind me asking.
No, I don't mind. I mean, it's education, man. It need to be discussed, open platform. So, man, when you're addicted to heroin like I was, you were
using every day. I'm taking every day, all day.
All day, every day,
from sun up to sundown.
Yeah. God. And it was crack mixed in there, but I ain't started messing with that stuff until like I got older, older and dumber,
Right. We can laugh about it now. Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like, it takes away it steals everything, your ideas, your morals, your principles, your status as a man. It steals everything. The only thing I was quick was a male. And the magnificent part about this, is that I was here, right? I was here. And in the face of all these people, I went all the way down. Became like lower than the scum of the earth.
Lost everything.
In my terms, yeah.
Lost everything. All houses, cars, money.
Everything, even identity. Because people will say, that's Terry T. And somebody was like, well, that's not Terry T. Yeah.
God. And then you end up, going behind the walls a second time. When you went back a second time, this is when you were already, I'm guessing, like strung out, using daily.
So I used drugs for 30 years, right? Listen to this story. I used drugs for 30 years, but only got high 25 years. The reason why I say that is because the last 5 years I was using to feel normal. It wasn't to get high no more. It was so I can function, And so my normalcy was abnormal to the normal person, because my normalcy was to get up to put an abnormal substance in me in order for me to function abnormally, which was my daily function of feeling normal. It's insanity.
It is. No, it is.
And I'll never forget the date, man. My clean date is March the 6th, 2015. That's the day I was arrested, went to prison. A confidential informant told on me, And if I was to meet this guy right now, if I was to see him right this minute, I'd probably give him 10 grand.
Wow.
Saved my life.
Even though he told on you.
Yeah.
Saved your life because it forced you to go into prison and get clean.
Look at me.
Wow.
Some people pay more than that to get to where I'm at and still don't make it.
In March, what's the date again?
March 6, 2015.
That was the last time you ever used
anything.
Man, hold on, man. We gotta give my man a big round of applause, man. And since then, when I say anything, you don't even drink no more.
I don't.
No liquor, no hookah, no cigar, no weed. Forget about the crack and heroin. Nothing.
Nothing.
That is so commendable, man. When I say I'm so proud of you, like I say, we built a friendship over years, but before then, I knew of the legend of Terry T from We Rock Crew to WWIN, then hearing the stories about how he went from, like you say, here to below rock bottom. I mean, walking down the street where you don't even recognize him.
Right, exactly.
To now, looking the way you look, being the way you are, and now, as I know you, my generation, Mr. Shut 'em down. Hands down, you can argue, if not the biggest, one of the biggest promoters in Baltimore still till this moment. Right. That is such a commendable, not just success story, it's a testimony. It's a testimony of, I don't know what faith you are, that's not my business, but it's a testimony of that it's a higher power somewhere that believed in you before you believed in yourself. And that's how Terry T is now over a decade clean. And now, what would be 25? So over 10 years clean, and now no signs of going back to that. You have no desire mentally to even think about
at all. So, like I say, I was here, right? Mm-hmm. And I became a bum in the face of everybody. Terry T, bum. In the very same eyes of these same people, God has resurrected me, right? Mm-hmm. And my goal was only to stay clean. It wasn't for me to come back and start promoting events. I just wanted to stay clean. Mm-hmm. And, DJ in my home and stuff. And I first came back on the scene DJing, everybody like laughing at me because I was on Facebook Live DJing with no turntables, just a laptop.
Yeah, that's not DJ, Terry T.
Yeah.
You got to have something to mix.
I just had a laptop. It's still on there.
What year was this?
This was 2018.
So that was your first time technically getting behind the DJing again.
Yeah, 2018. Mm-hmm. I had a brother, DJ Exclusive. Mm-hmm. Shout out to him. He was working on Pennsylvania Avenue at a market called, I think it was Browns or something, right there, Pennsylvania and Huffman. Mm-hmm. And he used to see me every day. That was my strip, running up and down the street. Mm-hmm. And I asked him one day, I'm like, man, can you put some music on my laptop? And he came around in the projects. My mom put the music on the laptop. Then DJ R&B. I was asking him, well, can you show me how to work this laptop?
Right.
Because I didn't know nothing about this stuff.
Of course.
And he gave me a crash course on it. And I bought myself some turntables. The magnificent part is this. A lot of people are like, well, where you come from? Or where? And people got to understand, when I came back, I didn't start from the beginning. I started from experience, which is the difference, And from my research, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know none other promoter nor DJ, right, that has taken a 30-year break and came back.
On top, the guy.
Yeah.
You ain't just come back like you are. I mean, they can argue in the comments like it ain't that many promoters that by themselves. Because most parties nowadays, it's 10 promoters on it, if not more.
Right.
Terry T is going to put a party with just Terry T and bring out thousands of people.
Right, and the miraculous part of that, Quick, is that it's bigger than me. Mm-hmm. And I known that from Gentleman 10, because Gentleman 10 was a venue that nobody would throw a party in. Mm-hmm. No, who gonna go to that place?
Right.
And I sold it out every time I did. So that told me that if I could put them in, if they gonna come to Gentleman 10 to see me, then maybe I can go somewhere else, Mm-hmm. And then myself and Sean Marshall, we were doing events at that time.
That's my guy.
Shout out to Sean Marshall.
That's another OG.
We did a couple events, and then we went to the Bam Boom venue, sold that out. Then we went to the Tapsco Arena for the first time and sold that out.
What year was that? Because I got a story about that. That was what?
Tapsco Arena was 21.
That was right after the pandemic kind of started.
Yeah.
So this is now, fast forward to kind of before we get to where we are today in 2026. Okay. Around that time, 2021, this was my first time, believe it or not, hearing about Terry T. I wasn't old enough to remember the 80s, and then you went behind the walls.
Right.
So, when I started DJing, Terry T wasn't around. And then when you finally came home, it was a Terry T that was, removed.
Right.
So I never heard of you, by the way.
Right.
I heard the name of the We Rock crew just from doing research from Kevin and the New Marks, but I never knew who Terry T was. So now 2021, Terry T Productions is throwing a party at Tapsco Arena. And rest in peace to my big brother, my OG, my mentor, my road manager, my partner, the guy who I owe my career and a lot of my life to by the name of Samuel Brown. Right. We know him as Big Sam.
Okay.
Let me first say rest in peace to Big Sam. We're still fighting for justice. Hashtag justice for Big Sam, because I'm going to keep fighting every day alongside his family until we get the justice we deserve. But Big Sam, you know, this was my day to day. We together every day. Mm-hmm. You know, literally, if you see Quicksilva, you see Big Sam. So Sam is telling me, we had an event somewhere, and Sam was like, "You need me tonight?" I was like, "I'm good." He's like, "You sure?" I said, "No, you know, I got some guys, but you good?" He's like, "Cause Terry T throwing the party back at the Taps Arena. I'm gonna stop by." I know who's that. He's like, "You don't know Terry T?" I was like, "Nah." So I don't pay no mind. So then the next day, I'm meeting with Big Sam. And he's showing me these pictures and videos of a Taps Arena with thousands of people. Thousands. Yeah. Like not 3,400, 3,000-4,000 people. Right. So I'm like, hold on. I'll come on. This is exactly what I said. I said, who the fuck is Terry T?
Right.
So this is how he look at me. Remind you, I don't know the Terry T that they all know.
Right.
He's like, so he said, Quick, you joking, right? I said, no, I'm dead serious. Like, who is that? Like, I've never heard of him. Like, how does this guy come out of nowhere and he throwing parties bigger than Quicksilva? Like, how is that even possible?
Right.
And why ain't book me? Right. Like, so he look at me again. He like, Quick, you trying to be funny? I said, oh, I'm dead serious. Like, who is he?
Right.
He said, yo, that's Terry T from like We Rock Crew back in the day, Pittsburgh. I said, yo, like that don't mean nothing to me. Like, explain to me like I'm one.
Right.
Who this guy? He said, yo, though, this is my OG. Like, how you look at me? This was him at one point. Like, he was the guy. I mean, this guy was the guy from the streets to the clubs to the radio. Right. Like, he was, this is what he said to me. He was you way before you were you. Because in my mind, you know, I'm one of the guys who made it.
Right.
Quote, air quote, made it, right?
Right.
So he's like, yo, he was like a Quicksilva, but bigger.
Right.
So I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He said, dude, do your research. So if you know me, if you tell me to do my research, I'm gonna do my research. So now I'm Googling We Rock Crew. I'm Googling who is Terry T. Then I'm realizing people that I knew that were around that time. I'm calling them. Like, I'm really doing a whole homework project on you before I even met you.
Right.
So now every OG I talk to, from Big Sam to other names, they're like, oh yeah, Quick, he was the guy. He was the guy. He was the guy. So I mean, that's all I kept hearing. With like, you know, then they would tell me, so like, you know, he kind of fell off for a few years, you know, with the prison, but we never stopped loving him. Like, he was always one of us.
That part.
So now, I feel like after I heard about you that one time, I just couldn't stop hearing about the guy now. It's like, you ever notice when you see a car and now you feel like you see it every 5 seconds?
Yeah. Like,
I feel like I went from never hearing about Terry T ever to my whole timeline is Terry T.
Right.
I'm like, who the fuck is this guy's team? Like, so I'm like, oh, yo, you told me, like, I said, oh, you need to call him. I need to get down with him. I ain't never asked to be on a party in my life.
Right.
Ever. Because I'm booked up. I'm booked up from now until the next 30 years.
Right.
But I said, yo, I need to get down with Terry. He said, no, that's my, I can call him.
Right.
So you said he reached out to you.
Yeah.
Telling like, Quick wanted.
Yeah. Quick trying to get on one of the events. I said, all right, definitely. I said, I got something sweet coming for him at Maryland Live.
Yep.
Upscale.
Yep. You know? And like, that just showed me the magnitude, because a guy that I idolize, like Big Sam, idolized you. And that showed me like, yo, this guy is somebody that's, as we say in the streets, one of us. Like, he is certified.
Right.
He is officially made man. And now, as I'm watching you take over the city, I mean, now, Mr. Shut 'em Down, that's your nickname, right? Mr. Shut 'em Down?
Mr. Shut 'em Down.
Mr. Shut 'em Down. Yeah. And by the way, guys, when he say Mr. Shut 'em Down, he's not bragging. you put Terry T on the party, it's going to sell out 100% of the time. So now, as I'm getting to know Terry T, I'm working with him, you know, you're 10 years removed plus clean. Terry T is killing. And then I get like a blow to my heart, because I see Terry T posts, I'm battling cancer.
Prostate cancer, right.
When I say, and without me getting emotional, I hate the C word, because I've lost so many family members. Right. So my mom died of cancer. Mm-hmm. My dad remarried. So my mom died of cancer when I was 10. My dad remarried when I was 15, 16. Mm-hmm. My dad died when I was 18. My stepmom at the time died from cancer. One of my original romances by the name of Monty died from cancer. My childhood best friend and barber, Mark Baltimore, rest in peace, Mark Baltimore for life, died from cancer.
Wow.
Then recently, my wife's mom, Mama Kim, was battling cancer. She's now in remission now, a few years. But when I say cancer has followed my life since I was 10 years old, it's always been a mom, a stepmom, a mother-in-law, a best friend battling cancer. And with the exception of Mama Kim, they all lost their battle to cancer. Right. So when I see that, first person I call, Big Sam. Right. That's always my first call in life. I said, "Damn, you hear about Terry?" Said, "Yeah, man. I just reached out to him. You know, fucking prostate cancer." I'm like, "Nah, not Terry T, not Terry T." Take me through the moment when you found out that you were diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Yep. So, my dad had it, right? And so he asked me, he said, "Listen, do you be getting checked for prostate cancer?" I said, "No, this is back in 2022. So he said, request to get a PSA done, prostate exam, where they take your blood and check the levels. So when they checked it, right, my level was 9.5. The highest it's supposed to be is 4.0. Anything over 4.0, you're suspicious of cancer. So my primary care doctor told me she was putting me in with a urologist so I can get a biopsy done. And we done a biopsy and it came back that I was positive for prostate cancer.
And you had no signs?
No symptoms, no signs, nothing, right? And I fell out, like literally fell out. And the strange thing is, I never went public with it. This was in 2022. So from 2022 to 2025, my numbers stayed below the radar where it was showing it was just normal, like if I didn't have cancer. But I had it, you know, because I kept on getting checkups and stuff like that. And the tests kept coming back showing I didn't have it. But we had already done a biopsy that told me that I did have it. So I never went public with it. So from 2022 to 2025, I started doing like my own research about it because
that's when I found out, when you posted something.
Right, because during that time, you know, you had the surgery doctor tell me all the reasons why I want to get surgery. The radiation doctors tell me all the reasons why I want to get radiation. So now I'm confused because medical is a big business, you know, and it's a practice. That's all it is, you know. So now I've done my research, and I made a decision to move forward with surgery because surgery had less side effects than radiation. And not only that, but radiation, the side effects gradually come on for over the next 10 years, versus surgery. The side effects are immediate, whereas like erectile dysfunction and leakage, and then they subside, go away. And for me, before I get to the outcome of the surgery, that's when I decided to go public. When the doctor's like, "Well, now you gotta make a decision now before it get worse. Get on top of it before it get on top of you."
Facts.
So that's when I went public in 2025 about it. And the reason why I keep on saying that the process is bigger than me as far as this party stuff, is I never really wanted to get back into the party stuff. It just happened, you know. It's for me to have a voice, you know, to speak about addiction, you know, to speak about cancer, because I have a database with over 70,000 people now. You know, and
it's valuable, by the way.
Yeah, very valuable.
I'm telling you, as a business owner, you have companies that will pay you a lot of money for your database.
Right, and when I'm talking about, man, I'm done with getting high. Like, I'm done. Life has been lifing. I had a daughter who died in her sleep in 2022. Never woke up again.
Christ. How old was she?
She was 35 at the time. And I did not find a good reason to go get high.
That is.
I came out.
Because if anything, that would have been a reason. Losing a child is all of our parent. As a parent, dad, that's all of our biggest fear.
Yeah. And when I came up with the cancer, it still wasn't a good reason for me to get high, man. So, you know, God got my back, and I had so many people who have called me that's so scared to come out about it or scared to go to the doctors about it, you know. Mm-hmm. So they're like, man, you have it? Yeah, you know, and so I went through with the surgery September 24th, 2025, mm-hmm. and I was blessed, you know, and didn't spread enough, and they got it all out. They gave me a 90% chance of being cancer-free over the next 15 years. I got to go every 90 days for a follow-up blood test just to make sure, you know, that it maintained what it's doing now. But that's what it's about, man. It's about information, spreading the right information, man. Mm-hmm.
So as of this moment, right this second, you are considered remission or cancer-free?
Right this minute, cancer-free.
Give me a round of applause, my brother. And I pray to whoever your higher power is that you stay that way. And I love that you say that you're on top of your doctor's appointments, because I'll be honest, and me speaking for myself, and most black men I know, we go to the doctors when shit is bad.
Right.
We gotta be on our deathbed. First thing I do if I'm sick, I call my wife, and my wife goes self-medicate.
Right.
It ain't till I feel like, all right, something's wrong, then I finally call my doctor.
Right.
And we all need to do a better job of being proactive and not reactive. So I'm prayerful that your story inspires people to really want to stay on top of their health. Health is wealth.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't care how much money you got. A lot of people die rich.
Right. Yeah.
Die. Like,
absolutely.
Right. So I tell you, money is not the highest form of success. You know this better than me. Money come and go. If you're a hustler, you can always figure out how to get it back. Your health, you can't hustle your health back. No. You feel me?
Oh, no.
A hustler can get money. We can get money.
Right. Yeah.
But once we sick, it ain't no. I can't call somebody. Yo, I'm sick. Fix this for me.
Not at all. Yes. Not at all.
So that's so important. What would you say? Because you know, I'm looking at the generation that we're in right now, in this current generation, and not saying it's a good thing, but in my era, you know, I'm born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. We celebrated the drug dealer. The drug dealer was the person I looked up to. That was, you know, I didn't want to be like rapper. Everybody that was a drug dealer in my family world, they had the cars, the girls, money, and we celebrated them because they were our celebrities. Right. And they gave back to the community. Like, they were really, to us, even though they were doing illegal stuff, they were good people doing good stuff. So we celebrated them. And back then, not even harping on what you went through, the person who used drugs was frowned upon. You was a junkie, you was a sherm, you was a bum, a bunch of names we called them. The roles have reversed.
Big time.
The roles reversed where now, not just in the music, because I'm not going to blame the music because it's been happening before the music, but because we're in the music business, the drug user is celebrated now. Like, you're celebrated if you do pills, if you sniff coke, if you do heroin, if you do needles. I mean, you're celebrated now for being a drug user, and the drug dealers are the ones that are just telling each other, so there's no code there. Right. What do you say to the generation of cool people, rich people, the it guys that think, I'm just using that, it's a party drug, you know, I'm getting high with shorty, we gonna go do what we do, but it ain't that serious, I can kick it. Right. What do you say to that guy right now that all he talks about is how many pills he doing, how many lines of coke he's doing, and to him, it's harmless for now because he or she, because there's a lot of women as well doing it, they haven't gotten to the strung out or rock bottom level yet. What would Charlie T, as somebody who's been through that personally, say to him watching right now?
Oh, man. Woo! So, when I see the people that's partying, like, so when I first came out promoting this time, you know, they always say, Terry T got, you know, it's like he had the NA party. He got all the addicts and this and that, right? And the same people who were saying that was the ones I always see in the videos with the cup in their hand. So that cup, in my mind, is liquid heroin. I know so many DJs, MCs, or party promoters who probably are alcoholics. That's a drug.
They drink 7 days a week, by the way. Right. And don't even realize that they're addicted to it.
They can't function.
They're alcoholics and hookaholics.
Right. And hookaholics.
That's the new thing right now.
Right. And so what I would say is, education, man. You don't have to put an abnormal substance in your body to function, because that's what I look when I see it. As a matter of fact, I think that I'm the only party promoter in this city at the level I'm at who don't party or don't drink enough. I don't even go out. Mm-hmm. If you see me out at a party, it's like I'm there for like 5-10 minutes.
You promoting?
Yeah, or promoting, and I'm gone.
Yeah.
But it's death, man. It all leads to death. Rather it's using a drink, drug, a substance, or selling it. It all leads to jails, institutions, and death.
The big thing right now is pills and coke. Like, everybody is sniffing coke, and everybody is doing Molly's, Perks, Xannies. In their mind, it's a cool drug.
Right.
And quick story, just about while you're talking about this. This is how I knew that, like, I'm just built differently, because I've seen the effects of what drugs do to a community, and I've seen the effects of what drugs personally do to people that I personally know.
Right.
That once in your mind, it was a party drug.
Right.
Party drug, sex drug, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to do this and go get some girls and we party, right? I remember DJing recently, and I'm DJing, I don't know what I say I was, but let's say a very popular spot in a very popular city. Mm-hmm. And what's big Sam with me, so I'm DJing, and Sam know when I'm in my zone performing, I don't want nobody around. I like to have my space so I can, I'm performing. So I'm rocking out, and it's some IG girls that are hosting. Popular. Once again, I'm not putting nobody under the bus in here, but then I look back in the DJ booth, and there's like 3 of them behind me, and they doing a line, or doing a bump as they call it. So I'm looking like, I remember back in the day when people got high, at least they would sneak and do it. Like, they would go to the bathroom, or back in the day when your cousin or whoever got high, he wouldn't do it in front of you. He would sneak downstairs, or as we used take a walk.
Right.
And we knew what that meant. He would never just right here when we talk like 1 second and go back to talking. Right. So I'm looking, I'm like, hold on, they not even hiding this shit. No. Like, so that's how crazy it is, Terry. I know one of the girls, so she I look back at her and I try, I ain't gonna blow your spot. So after they do that little line, one of them walk up towards me, hey, quick, bro, shout out, blah, 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 like, whatever. They're like, hey, you want to hit? I'm like, nah, I don't do drugs.
Right.
That's not, I smoke a little cigar here,
right?
But I don't do drugs. So this, but they say to me like, what you mean you don't do drugs? I'm like, nah, I don't do drugs. Like, I don't do drugs. The best I would do is smoke a little weed when I'm in Jamaica. It stops there.
Right.
And this is what they say to me, oh, you do them overhead drugs. And I'm like, overhead drugs? You're like, you don't do party drugs? I'm like, no. But they were so almost disgusted with me.
Right.
Like I was old and corny and washed up.
Right.
Because I don't do coke and pills.
Right.
And I was just so amazed that, like, this is where we are as a generation, where it's really acceptable to be a junkie. I'm gonna say what it is.
Yeah.
And if I offend somebody, I hope I offend you enough to get help.
Right.
Like, it's acceptable now to be a junkie.
Yeah. We're
almost the ones, the Terry T's and the Quicksilvas, the people who don't get high.
Absolutely.
We get laughed at sometimes.
Absolutely.
Now.
All the time.
Like, all right, here comes Terry being a bore.
Right. All the time.
No, nigga, I want to live. Like, but how did we get here? Like, how do we get to the point where the people using drugs, in their mind, are the cool people?
I think, again, it goes back to education, because our grandparents and parents are getting younger and younger. Mm-hmm. And so when you have someone 15, 14, 10 giving birth to a kid, they're only 10, 14, 15 or years older than them. So the information they have, they passing it down. Some people getting high with their parents. Not only that, quick. Back when I was raised with my values in me, not on me.
Right.
So I didn't have to wear a certain thing to be me when I walk in a room. Mm-hmm. But now you got to have a drug in you to be cool. You know, you got to have on certain shit to fit in.
Yeah. I got called old because I ain't want to do coke.
Yeah, that's good. Right. But that's the goal, right?
But old is the goal. Yeah. Steve Harvey had the best line. They would say, old is the goal. Y'all think it's want to die young. Yeah. I want to be old, fat, and rich. Yeah. Like, I want to die 45. Yeah. Old is the goal. Yeah. Take it to now where we are now. Terry T has overcome adversity. He has overcome lifing, clean over a decade, cancer scare with, by the grace of God, as of this moment, you're still alive and with us and healthy. What's next for Terry T?
Oh man. So I always been a part of the community of helping people, giving back. I give back so much. It's just, you know, it's not something to brag about. It's something that's between God and myself, you know, helping people. I give back every event. Not only that, every event since I've been back on the scene, I always add a new DJ. Like, because the DJ community is so screwed up and so divided. You know, you got to be a part of something.
Some clique.
Right, to fit. And I think a lot of my dislike come from me standing up being like what we talking about. Terry T is my name, is the brand.
My name is my name.
Right, you know. And a lot of people, man, the old heads know me as Terry T, the DJ. The younger people know me as Terry T, the promoter.
That's what I met you as. I didn't even know you DJ, by the way.
Right, you know, Mr. Shut 'em Down.
That's what I did. I'm like, he DJ, like DJ. He was the guy, like.
Right, you know.
Yeah, right.
And so what's next for me, man? Getting the Terry T Productions nonprofit going.
That's important, man.
You know,
501c it.
Yeah, yeah, and open up different recovery houses and stuff like that.
That's
I already, like I say, have a database, a heck of a database. I already have a heck of a support system. Right. You know, so I mean, whatever God see fit, man. Because like I say, this promotional stuff is like bigger than me. You know, having 3,000 and 4,000 people, man, no fighting. You know, repetitiously, no fighting. You know, so it's bigger than me, man. And as long as I think, if I stay in position and play my position, things will continually to get better without my permission.
Oh man, that's a vitamin of the day, I must say. Normally I end with a vitamin of the day, but Terry T, you know, he the OG guy. He do what he wants. He's Terry T. What am I going to say back to him? No, man, I just wanted to say, like, the purpose of me creating the WhoIs Podcast was to give people their flowers. Of course, to learn your story of stuff about your life that most people didn't know, and in hopes that it inspires somebody. But I want to say, just as somebody who my OG Big Sam has always spoken so highly about, to finally meet you and then build our own relationship outside of anybody else, to realize what you've been through. As a person like myself that's been through a lot of shit, and to hear the things that you've been through, to see where you are, I want to say, if nobody told you, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man.
I'm proud of you because you're a success story that normally doesn't happen. It's not that many people, not just, you know, sell drugs, but get addicted to a substance for 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years addicted to a substance is a lifetime.
Yeah.
It's literally a lifetime.
Yeah.
It is, and I don't know the percentage, but I'm going to say out of 100%, maybe 3% of people that get addicted for over 30 years gets clean again.
Right.
It's almost humanly impossible because, like you say, your body can't even function without it. For you to be where you are, clean, being a walking testimony, I pray that this episode inspires somebody to say, I can do it.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of times what I've learned over the decades of my life and my career, it's never the message, it's the messenger. Somebody can say exactly what you said, but they're talking down on me. Where Terry T, everything you said, you never looked down on anybody. You never said anything that shamed anybody.
No.
And you're not embarrassed about talking about it.
Oh.
Because a lot of people, unfortunately, this is some real shit, and you know this. A lot of people, when we go through stuff, we go through it privately. And we don't want people to know our past. Because our past ain't pretty.
There's a saying that we have in the rooms that says, you're only sick as your secrets.
Jesus Christ, that's heavy. That is heavy. There's a lot of people walking around dead there because we secrets be carrying.
And not to cut you off,
no, you good, man. Take your time. You tired, T.
I love the people who talk like down about me, like bad about me. Mainly now.
People still talk bad about you now?
Of course.
No, Terry T, get out here.
Let me sit up a little bit, man.
Give us what the people want to hear. Give us the real.
Let me tell you, man.
Because I've never heard anything bad about you, but you go ahead.
People dislike me when I was using drugs. Mm-hmm. They hate me now that I'm doing my thing. And it's sad, you know. I mean, I'm not, and some people's mindset, I guess my grind threatens them. I don't know. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm here to help, you know. But it's sad because the way the God of my understanding work, right? Mm-hmm. When you talking grimy about me, you actually doing me a favor, right? And the person who you talking to, because the story you telling them and they looking at me and they like, hold up, he was, but look, what? Now you're telling a testimony, you don't even know it. And they don't understand that all the time that they talk down about my events, about he got the addicts, this and that. Now look what it has grown into. I've got the largest multi-generational following in the DMV.
That is
no fighting.
That is not even arguable.
Right.
Mr. Shut 'Em Down was real. And I'm glad you said that, because success breeds envy and jealousy. And what I tell people all the time, if you're not ready for lies, hate, jealousy, envy, it's very simple. Just don't become successful.
Right.
Nobody talks about the person that's losing.
Right.
Nobody talks about the person that's under them.
Right.
People talk about the people that supersede, because in someone's eyes who maybe grew up with you or saw you when you were at rock bottom, even though they might have acted like they were supportive, they were kind of glad you were there, because now they always had one up on you. And they normally don't see somebody come from that to become on the same level. But then Terry T said, I'm not going to stop here. I don't want to stay at this level. I want to be the guy. And that's when the jealousy and envy come, because people put expectations on your life based on their success. So if I tried to become a promoter and I can't get more than 50 people into a hall, and then Terry T goes through hell, literal hell, and he comes on and he puts his name on the flyer and gets 5,000 people, why would I like him?
So I'm glad you said that, because I go back to this. It's bigger than me, Quick. Mm-hmm. The only thing I do is stay in position to play my position. Mm-hmm. And this thing just keep growing without my permission. It's bigger than me. But they're looking at me. But it's not me. It's God, man. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I can think of. It's look at you.
This episode is not about me. This is about you.
No,
but you're right, though.
But I'm saying, look at you. Mm-hmm. You're doing your thing. You know, you can DJ, talk. You very inspirational, man. Come on, man. You have a voice in this city. Yeah. You know, and you're using it the correct way. A lot of us get where you at, and we crash and we burn because we don't know how to handle it.
True, very true.
You know? And so, I mean, for me, I stay out the way. I never wanted to become like the promoter. That wasn't my plan. My plan, man, was to stay clean.
And you've done that, man.
Yeah, that's the only thing I want to do.
Man, if you can say one last thing to everybody watching or listening to the podcast that's been supporting you from day one of We Rock Crew to DJ Terry T, to going through your transition behind the walls, to going through your transition into under the streets, to now this. And they still have never given up on you. Even at your lowest, even at everything. What would you say to that person that's watching right now?
Man, thank you guys for helping me save my life. Thank you. The support, man, is miraculous. I have more people out there that love me than people that dislike me, and loving me to life, man, is boom, what you got now, and I'd rather have people to love me to life instead of loving me to death.
Damn, but this boy, I don't know if you want to be an inspirational speaker, but I'm going to start taking you with me when I do my speeches. Because I'm like, this boy got punchlines, boy. Love me to life, don't love me to death. Just know I'm going to steal that, by the way, for my vitamin of the day on the radio tomorrow. So when you get on the radio, like, that damn Quick got that from me recording the podcast. No, I want to say, man, on behalf of myself, man, like, one thing I want to ask you, this is how we kind of wrap this up always.
Okay.
I think for you, because it's weird, this might have to be a two-part answer. The last question I ask everybody on the WhoIs Podcast is their Mount Rushmore. But you are not weird, you're in a different space, because I almost want to know who's your Mount Rushmore. And the Mount Rushmore is top 4 of all times.
Okay.
Who is your Mount Rushmore of Baltimore DJs? But also, who is your Mount Rushmore of Baltimore promoters? Because Terry T happens to be one of the only ones that has successfully done both at a high level. So let's start with the DJ first. If I had to ask Terry T, your Mount Rushmore of DJs from Baltimore that's really inspired you and made an impact in some way in your life, that like you look up like, yeah, he or she, they're it. Who would the top 4 DJs of all times be from Baltimore?
Frank Ski. That's easy for me, Frank Ski, the only person I seen rock a crowd other than yourself and Booby with his mouth. Mm-hmm. Frank, man, he remind me of a Michael Jordan, where he can get in your head, and once he get in your head, he can play anything.
I learned what I learned, by the way. Everybody knows this. It's public information.
Yeah.
I learned everything I know about rocking the mic from Frank Ski.
Right. My second one would be everyone's else favorite, DJ Spen.
Oh, come on.
He's definitely a game changer, man. Mm-hmm. From hip hop to house. I think my third one would be it's this young lady named DJ Ecstasy.
Dope, I never heard of her. She from Baltimore?
She from Baltimore.
Dope. She been around for a while?
Yeah, she been around quite a bit. Her mindset when it comes to music, her creativity is like off the chain. And she'd probably be shocked when she watched this video. Turn to.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get with our producer Larry. We're gonna get her on here as well. Then.
Yeah, I never told her that. Mm-hmm. And last but not least would be Jeffrey C.
OG.
Yeah. Man, Jeffrey C. Man, this guy. When you book this guy, he creates songs that he gonna play at your party.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he from WBB with the super mixing and all that other stuff.
I remember first hearing him on like 92 and Magic, like Jeffrey C. He been around for decades.
Right.
So,
and since you keep on saying I'm Terry T, can I have 5?
You Terry T, do whatever you want. Who's
Quicksilva's the last.
Oh, stop it! No,
Quicksilva, man.
No, man.
Listen,
I don't need it.
Man, I remember, man. I'm in '95, man. '93, '94, '95. I'm in prison, man. I'm listening to 93.9, and I'm listening to this guy on the radio. I'm like, who the heck is this kid rocking like this? And I call the town. They say, no, he's from Baltimore, man. It's Quicksilva. I'm like, that's Quicksilva.
I've been around for a long time. Everybody, it's crazy. Everybody thinks I'm a lot older than I am, only because I've been actively radio in clubs since '94. Right. So when people find out I'm only 45 years old, I'll be 46 years old, they're like, no way, Quick. I'm like, yeah, that guy y'all listen to?
Right.
And then he was 14.
Right.
I wasn't even old enough to be in the club, by the way. Shout out to Big Sam again.
Right.
But I wasn't even old enough to be in the club.
Right.
Forget about being in the radio. Legally, I wasn't supposed to be in the club. Right. But I've been in there since 14. So I appreciate it.
You have been doing your thing, and you're doing your thing, man. Don't stop.
No, I have no desire.
You're inspiration.
Thank you, man. That means a lot, man. And in closing, top 4 promoters of all times from Baltimore. Terry T. Rushmore if you want to.
No, seriously though, you took the words out of my mouth. Now I'm messing with you.
You good. If that's where you want to stay. Don't be humble here. This not the podcast to be humble on.
You always say that.
Talk your shit.
I would say Anthony Fawkes. You ever heard of him?
I heard the name, but that's
Anthony Fawkes. He the guy who do the Odell's reunions, but he do a lot of like concerts all the time.
Now, I know the name. I don't know him personally, but I know the name.
Yeah, he do a lot of concerts. Tracy Icon.
Come on, that's my partner. That's my OG. So most stuff I do nowadays is Quick and Tracy. So
I have a lot of like major respect for Tracy, man.
One of the only black females that's doing at her level in the world, by the way.
Yeah, when I was in the hospital, this lady reached out to me, man. She didn't even have to do it, and she gave me a blessings, man, and it resonated with me on such a different level, because us as Baltimore promoters, we so divided, and that lady, man, she touched me in a way, and the only thing she ever asked me was, when you gonna do something at my club? And I told her, I said, you have my word, I'm gonna bring a Terry T, I'm gonna bring a Shut 'Em Down now. Shut 'Em Down.
Tracy, iconic entertainment. She's one of the goats, man. I love her.
I apologize for getting emotional about that.
No, absolutely not, man.
It's real, The other guy would be Rod Stern.
Oh, come on, definitely. He had another one that I feel like came out of nowhere one day. My brother Franco put me. He was like, I'm going to a Rod Stern party. And I'm like, who? He's like, Rod Stern. Parties. You pay one price. You can drink there. And he like, I'm like, who the hell is Rod Stern? I know him now.
Right.
But yeah.
And I know this one gonna piss everybody off.
Oh, this is where your text goes crazy. This is where everybody gonna start texting and calling you. On number 4 of all time promoters in Baltimore, on Mount Rushmore, from Terry T himself, who gets the last spot?
Mr. Shut 'Em Down!
Come on. And that's how we wrapping it up, man. Once again, if you don't know who is Terry T, I'm prayerfully now you know who Mr. Shut 'Em Down, a.k.a. Terry T is. Give him another round of applause, man. Where can everybody follow you and support you, all that good stuff, social media?
IG is Terry T Productions, LLC. Facebook is Terry T Productions. As well as Facebook is Mr. Shut 'Em Down, as well as Facebook is the legendary DJ Terry T, and on TikTok, Terry T Productions.
I love it, man. You have been informed. You now know who is Terry T, and I'm telling you now, if you've never been to a Mr. Shut 'Em Down party, you've never been to a party. And my only beef with him is I'm not on all his parties. So I'm calling him out on the WhoIs Podcast if I'm available, because I know I'm a little booked up. But nah, we definitely got to do more work together, man. Definitely. Tune in every week. A new episode drops right here, of course, on the WhoIs Podcast. Tune in next week, because you never know who might be on next week. But for now, we now know who is Terry T. I love you, my brother.
Likewise.
I mean that, man.
Thanks for having me.
See you next week, same place, same time.